dominate the field and fill all the magazines, these other people won't be heard. And it's in the variety of humanity and their voices and visions that new ideas come about and our future is changed. And so he really looked at it and said, I want to set up a contest that will ensure that these people get a platform so that their writing gets discovered. And he bequeathed money to that. And actually, Joni Labaki, who's the contest coordinator, says that they use the funds from Battlefield Earth, which has been a bestseller for many, many years, a #1 New York Times bestseller. So that money they use to fund the contest with. And it's been an amazing, so many, you think of David Farland, Patrick Rothfuss, all of these, Ken Liu, all these writers that we know and love, they came out of this contest. Their very first sales were in this contest, and they were discovered here and then grew from that because it gave them that sunlight for those saplings to be, to grow and be seen. And now they're the mighty trees. And what do? They turn around and become judges for this contest to help the next crop of writers.
Which I think is excellent, by the way. It's just nice to see people giving back and getting involved and staying involved. I've talked to several of the judges here that have been judges for a long time, and they want to be here. It's not like it's a job or they're being told or it's a condition that they want to be here. They want to see y'all do better. They want to see y'all expand and become big writers, which is odd in most fields because that's competition. Most people, where you're trying to kick your feet out from underneath you. Oh, yeah, well, that was an okay story, but you'll never be anything, Just because you want here don't mean shit. But that's not how it is. I mean, I've been talking to everybody here, and these people legitimately give a crap. Excuse my language. They really do care. And it's even though I know a lot of the people from here, it's still a surprise to me. I'm used to working with a lot of different companies, and there's always some kind of, how can I say this nicely, some kind of underlying agenda. And there's none here. Other than making good writers, there's nothing here. And one of the reasons I push it, because I'm blanked out on anything on TV. There's nothing I want to watch. There's not even much I want to read anymore. So I'm with y'all. I want to see new stuff. And by the way, in case I didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, Volume 35 was one of the books we just released too. What was the title of it?
My story was Super Duper Moon Girl and the Amazing Moon Dawdler.
Oh, I think I remember that one.
It was about a little girl on the moon with her life support robo-dog who came into great danger protecting her.
That's something Doctor Who almost. I like that kind of stuff. I didn't think I was going to be a bigger fan as Elron as I turned out to be, because John sent me a pad with pretty much everything he's done. And I read through it. And John sent me a couple of books on him himself. And he's a little bit different than what the press portrays him at. To be honest, if I went just strictly by the press, I probably wouldn't have gotten involved. But once I met John and Emily, then I realized it's not what was going on here. And the more I got involved in this, the more I realized that, no, he was legit. He really wanted to see new writers come out. And whether he had an agenda or not, we'll never know, because he's passed now. But I don't think he did. I think he just wanted to see new writers. Most good writers do want to help out. I mean, it's not some of the other fields like when you're in movies or music or something like that. Or even in my business, radio show hosts can get really nasty with each other. Every now and then somebody will take a swipe at me. I was in Las Vegas a couple of months back, and I was doing a lecture, actually. And one of my competition was there from another radio network. I don't even know why you get up. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. And I said, who's got the bachelor's degree, me or you? He's like, I said, who interviewed Mitchell Keiko, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Paul Levillette? Was it you or me? Yeah, that's right, it was me. I said, yeah, I might know a little bit more about the subject matter than you do. But it was a deliberate swipe because he was looking for audience members. Right. And he wanted to get controversy going because he figured he'd pick up some members, but I just cut it out to legs and moved on. That's one of the things. And let me add, while we're on this, so I meant to ask Storm this too. So fan mail and when people write about you, do you read it? And what I mean by that is, like, you'll go, somebody will leave my brain's fried tonight, but somebody will leave a comment behind. When I first started doing radio, I used to read comments. I'll be honest, I don't read them anymore. I don't, because one, I'll take it personal sometimes. So it's just best for me just to leave it alone. So I wanted to ask you how you deal with it. And you might not get any negative comments. I do, unfortunately.
I got, for my Writers of Future story, at least 100 emails, comments, letters from people, and all were good. I mean, it was people from Canada were writing me. Somebody from Israel wrote to me. Somebody said, my daughter never reads anything. I put your story in front of her, and she read it, and she started reading again. And he's a coffee shop owner, and he said, let me know what else you've written. Well, that's what I'm working on. So I've got new stories coming out. Actually, a story I wrote, they do an exercise here called your 24-hour story. You write it in 24-hour stories. That just got published just a couple days ago in an anthology called Things with Feathers, Stories of Hope on Amazon. And, I wrote it in 24 hours. I spent about 4 hours just cleaning it up before I sent it. Sold the first time out. So that's the beauty of the contest. It actually helps you to write more. And then once you win, it doesn't end there. You've learned how to write better through the contest. You learn how to meet deadlines. You learn how to send your stories out, and it builds your career.
Okay, I hate deadlines.
What's that?
That's why I hate deadlines.
Yeah.
But that's because I do construction.
Okay.
They never go the way they're supposed to. People ask me all the time. I always give myself an extra, whatever it is. On big jobs, I always give myself an extra 90 days. They're like, it's going to take that long. That way I end before it and everybody's happy. They're like, oh, you got finished 30 days in? Yeah, I did. Because I lied to you. That's why.
But for a writer, Joe, meeting deadlines means money.
I know.
So if you can get your story in before the deadline closes, you're in. You can't win if you can't get paid if you aren't in either. Anthologies have a date they close, and it's rock solid. So learning how to meet those and to write your story by then, and what that 24-hour story does, that exercise they do here, it teaches you to write really fast and good because you get out of your way and write. And those stories can be there's lots of those stories that have won and that have actually gone off to be published, I should say.
And I'm hoping a lot of these turn into little movies or TV programs.
We all do, because that's where the big money is at.
I'm not even worried about the money. I need some new entertainment.
Yeah, well, that too. But we need money to be able to keep writing. That's the ultimate thing. A writer wants to be able to make money doing their craft, you see.
Well, I agree.
So.
You should get rewarded for the work. I have no problem with that. Any part notes before we kick you out?
Just that if you want to follow my work, you can go to thesupersecrets.com. thesupersecrets.com, or you can also go to my website, driftweave.com, and you can check me out on Amazon. On my author page is Wulf, WULF Moon, Wulf Moon, one word.
Well, hopefully I'll go check it out. These will all go up in a couple of days because I'm going to send them through John and go through everything, make sure he's happy with everything. But they should be available. I'll be back in New Orleans on Monday, probably by the end of the week till I'll be published. What I'm going to do, though, as they publish, I'm putting them on the backside of our website at first because I got a bunch of pictures going on with them. So I'm going to let all y'all, you'll get a code from John, or for anybody from my Writer's Future, you'll get a code, which will let you access the page. And as long as you're happy with the material, you can just write me on icrafttalks.net and it'll go ahead and be published afterwards.
Awesome.
And that way, that's just, the archives I know are going to be fine. We've got a lot of pictures going up with them and all well. So, and I know some of my lady friends and some of my male friends might not be the most flattering pictures we're taking. So, but anyway, I'm going to end it on that note. Thanks, Wolf, for coming up. I look forward to hearing more from you, and you'll be getting a call in a couple of weeks from us because we're going to try. December is Author Month for us, so we strictly do authors all through the whole month, and for all the shows. So because we like to give away a lot of books. So like when y'all come on, we'll be giving away your volumes. By the way, whatever volume you have to be in, we'll actually save it for that date. We'll be giving it away. And if I get my hands on some signed copies, then if I still got them, we might do it that way. We might give away the autographed copy when you're on. I'll have to threaten John to get a few extras, but say, John, man, I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna put you on Tuesday night late if you don't send me some copies. Right?
He'll be happy to supply those.
They're both great.
They're awesome.
It's been a long time since I've been able to work with these people, with somebody like with the couple, and actually enjoy working with them. It's a weird thing that I find couples that work that well together.
Yeah.
Usually one or the other is pulling or pushing away. And when I first got in radio, I used to send everything to my wife. She was, how can I say this, a cruel, I wanted to use the other word, but maybe straighten up though. And, you start doing slurs and saying things you shouldn't, or like I'll get stuck on a word, whatever, or a phrase, and it'll get repeated on 10, 12, 15, 30, 50 shows. After a while, it gets to be monotonous. So she's like, you're going to use another word or another sentence, let's move on to something else, man. Like right now, what is it right now? I just said, or just say, or something like that. That's what's going on right now. But it's just stuff that goes around network, and it's bad because when I say it all the time, my hosts start to pick it up, and then they start to say it. I'm like, no, that's enough. 100 different hosts saying the same thing all the time just gets to be irritating. But Wolf, again, it was great talking to you, man, and it was great talking to you at dinner tonight too, as well. But I know you got to get down and review the movie, so I'll let you get out of here. And don't we get a sneak preview of Dune this week?
Yeah, that's coming.
Y'all heard that, people.
On
Y'all,
release
I'm gonna
night.
see Dune before y'all do.
Exactly.
And,
I'm looking
oh
forward
wait,
to
what's
it.
it? The guy who wrote it's here, right?
Well, the one that's writing the sequels,
Should
Kevin
be.
J. Anderson. Yeah, he's here
'Cause
with
I told-
Brian Herbert.
I told John, you make sure you point him out to me. He said, why? I said, because if I don't like it, I'm going to talk to him.
Yeah, he talked to us today. Kevin J. Anderson.
Oh yeah, I think I'm going to actually remember that.
Yeah.
And because I'm a big original Dune fan.
Oh, of course, me too.
The ones
Number
in between,
one.
Mingering on that, all that stuff. And I don't mind when you change some things. When you rewrite the story, I'm just not even interested in it anymore. Unless it's done really well. I have seen a couple of sequels that weren't actually sequels. It was just a change of the story. It worked well. A lot of times, though, it's just boring. And Dune's a long movie, so it's not like it's a little hour movie or an hour and a half. It's what, 2 hours, 45 minutes.
It's a true epic.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it's one of the few movies. I got to say this: what one is that actually do credit to the book.
Yeah.
Whereas, I like Battlefield Earth, but the movie was lacking at best. It was a good book. If y'all have ever read Battlefield Earth, people, and you go see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's a big difference between what's in the book. What happened was that they tried to take a massive book and cram it into a 3-hour movie. It should have been a trilogy.
Yeah.
It really should have been a trilogy. I wish they would remake it as a trilogy. I think it'd be much, much better. But hey, that's my own wishes. Everybody's got their fantasies, and apparently that's one of them. But again, Wolf, thanks for coming on, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be bringing some out in just a second. So y'all just hang out for the next interview and let me